Am I good to go?
And you're good.
Alright. Welcome to the Underworld Files. The place where the shadows keep their secrets, but we bring them to light. Each week we dive into the darkest corners of crime, unsolved mysteries, notorious cases, and chilling stories that haunt history. These are the files that society tried to bury, voices that demand to be heard, and the truths that refuse to stay hidden. Enter if you dare. This is the Underworld Files. Content warning! Topics such as blood, gore, mutilation, and murder will be discussed, so viewer discretion is advised.
And as always, we're going to run a 2-minute ad, so we're not bothered for the next hour. But welcome to episode 1 of the Underworld Files.
Yay! Okay. Oh, cool. There, I have mod view up, and I got 2 ads.
No, it's not even letting me run an ad, so
Never mind.
we'll probably just yap for a few minutes, and then we'll start the introductions.
Yeah.
Introduction.
We'll let people get in. We'll let people get in.
There we go. I'm gonna run an ad.
Man, I need the moment I get to affiliate and I'm able to run ads, I need to have Stream Elements do some like clever little saying for mine.
I just say I apologize, Sharks, but we have to take an ad break. And I spelled ad wrong. Why haven't you guys told me?
Oh, I've just now noticed that.
Run an ad break.
Run an ad.
Sorry guys, gotta extend the ad. What?
You gotta really make sure you understand what it is.
Sobs.
Sobs in Kent and seeing the fact you made a spelling mistake. No!
Oh my god, the spelling mistakes are the death of me. Welcome back, you guys, to the Underworld Files.
Oh, should I do my intro first, or do you want to do the intro first?
It does give me an option to run the 2-minute ad. Do we want to go ahead and do that so we're not bothered for an hour?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
They're gonna be like, Mommy, why so many ads?
I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, there's a cooldown for 6 minutes. What just happened?
I don't know. Why is everything so dark?
Oh, we passed
Level
out.
up. I passed out.
Yeah, we passed out.
I was like, what happened? Well, why is it raining? Mr. Glitch, last night, Joe Hummin found you incapacitated. Echo team, well, thank you. We billed you 50G!
We can do the introductions. Oh, you gotta get your little character up here.
Yeah, hold on. I'm making my way. Give me a moment. I end up in Timbuktu every time.
We gotta move your house, guy.
Yeah. So much wood is in my way. There we go. Hi guys, I'm back. Don't worry.
Alright, so those of you who missed it, we did our introduction, and now we're gonna introduce ourselves.
Should I? Oh, I'll do mine first. Okay. I'm Glitch from the dark corners of the internet and even darker corners of your nightmares. Your resident demon with a taste for the twisted and true. I'm one of your hosts through today's case, where fact is always stronger than fiction, and sometimes even scarier.
And I'm Sharkie, your host here in the depths of the Underworld Files. I circle the shadows, searching for the truth and hidden beneath the surface. On the Underworld Files, I'll guide you along with Glitch, and we will guide you through the chilling crimes, unsolved mysteries, and stories that lurk just out of sight. Together we will dive deep into the very few dare to swim, into the dark currents of humanity's underworld, and welcome. Together we shall start.
So yeah, today we're discussing one of the, I guess, by the way, keep in mind when we were doing the research for this, we were not expecting what we were going to read. So that's why I put that content warning, because
Oh,
if we
definitely.
gotta suffer, so do you.
Before we start, Glitch, how is your day going?
It's going good.
It's
It's going great.
You did
You know,
mention that you
waking-
were up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I've been up since 4 a.m. You know, I've been out here. It's cool.
Like, what is going on with your head that you woke
Dude,
up?
I've always woken up early. I've always woken up really early. That's just like because I grew up in a like where it's either you. So my whole family's stance on this is you're either early. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my whole stance. I've always waken up early, and back in like when I did high school, I would always wake up at 4 in the morning, because I would have to leave the house later on. So it takes me a good hour to wake up. So
Gotcha.
be fully cognizant and aware of my being.
The way I would stumble over that word so hard, I'm so impressed that you got that out.
Look at me, being a big boy, saying big boy things. How are you though? Because I know that you woke up a little bit later than I did.
I did wake up a lot later. I woke up at 8. I never
Which is
do
so
that.
weird. You never do. I know, because you've texted me at 4 in the morning as well.
Yes. Okay, so how I sleep. So my brain, I don't know what the heck is wrong with it, but I'm exhausted all the time, but it will not let me sleep. So I always go to bed at so odd hours, and it's annoying. So the only way I can fix that is staying up all night, and then staying up all day, and then just crashing. And that is the only way I've figured out how to fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, homie, I'm weird.
No,
I have a
homie,
terrible-
I'm good.
Homie, look, if I did what you did, I would be dead.
It's the only way my body will shut down and go to sleep.
Dude, here's the thing, I have a terrible sleep schedule as well. Like, so I usually I only do this on weekdays, but on weekdays I will go to bed at 10:30, wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then do my whole routine, do what I gotta do, and then that's all every day for the entire week, except for like Fridays, Thursdays or Fridays, because I don't have anything the next day after. So I just be like, I can stay up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I have to keep a sleep schedule. Otherwise, if I don't, I will stay up till 3 a.m. every single day, and it's not gonna be. And I will be dead every single day. They're gonna be like, "What's wrong with him? He just passed out.
He just
He just
passed
didn't
out."
sleep."
The way I would love to read this on my phone, but it will not let me switch tabs. So I literally just have the intro, and that's it on my phone.
Do you not know how to switch tabs?
It won't let me, but it's okay. I can do it on my laptop.
You press the little 3 dots and you go to document tabs.
Oh, now it's popping up. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
Anyways, we have to throw out multiple content warnings.
Otherwise, Twitch will not be happy.
It's a lot, but as Glitch said earlier, there's a content warning as to topics. Oh my god, topics such as blood, gore, mutilation, and murder. And there is also a few topics of grape. So let's just do that.
Yeah. It's even worse when we got to see the pictures, because there were pictures, guys. There were pictures.
We started this. We were not expecting it to be that bad, and my first comment was, why did we pick the gruesomest case to start out with?
I feel like it wouldn't. I'm pretty sure it would have been gruesome no matter who we would have chosen before.
Yeah, but this one, we're not gonna spoil anything, and we don't want to talk about the topic that we're both thinking of right now.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. I wasn't expecting there to be a photo or drawings of it, but there was. But it's okay.
Thank God there wasn't video. That would have been worse.
Oh my god, that reminds me. We need to do one of the podcast episodes of the San Diego McDonald's massacre.
It happened? What?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot. There's a documentary of it called The 77 Minutes. Ooh. It was a lot,
I know about it.
but if you're sensitive to topics like anything related to murder, I wouldn't watch the documentary. Because they decided
the Jeffrey Dahmer show came out, oh my god.
They decided to add the physical crime scene video of... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's in the documentary.
If you watch that whole Jeffrey Dahmer show that came out on Netflix, homie...
I don't think I ever did.
Dude, they were scary accurate with how it was.
Oh. I think I've seen a few clips on the internet, but that's about it.
And they were scary, like, close to how it was. You remember this tree?
Dr. Harvey stole 50 pounds from me.
Yeah, I know. He did the same for me. He was like, oh, we found you passed out. We're gonna bill you for us being a good citizen and carrying you.
Can we talk about the fact that money is most likely in our pockets, so he pickpocketed us?
Yeah, he just straight up robbed us. Oh. He just straight up robbed us in broad daylight.
But to anyone who is arriving, I'm Sharkie, and this is Glitch, our co-host.
Hi.
And we're about to get started here in just a few minutes after we run this ad. I feel so bad.
So many ads, man.
Well, so how I have it set up is if I run an ad in the beginning, we don't get bothered for an hour.
It's so weird.
But it's such a long ad, and I always feel horrible.
You know what? You get money, though. Revenue.
I don't really care. Like, I enjoy this more than a paycheck.
I enjoy it for the name of I'm in it for the name of the game. I'm here for the love of the game.
Absolutely. Like, I love
now the money is a great bonus.
It's a bonus, but it's not why I do it.
Right.
But I love how half of this time we're just gonna stand here.
Well, we could do some other stuff like fishing.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that.
Oh my god, fishing while we're doing the thing. Oh god, it's gonna be hard.
Man, he did this. Oh, I caught a fish.
Have you ever played Stardew Valley?
I have. So I've played it like every now and again.
Yeah.
Problem is that like I'm so used to games with so much action to where I have to for a game for me where I have to sit back and relax. Like to this degree, it's so hard for me.
I can understand
like
that.
Minecraft is relaxing, but you at least still have like that action. Like.
Oh yeah.
There's still a threat.
But not at 3 a.m. when your pickaxe breaks. Because that crap is so loud. How are you not exhausted already?
I'm just like that.
My character would have failed already. You've been running around. Oh, I'm stuck. Honestly, come into my house.
I'm going. It's raining. I don't want to catch a cold.
We can sit in front of the fire.
Oh, there we go.
Let me just...
Small one. Oh!
You just turned off my fireplace! I'm trying to move that. Get up.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm trying to move it. Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
Now we can just sit in front of the fireplace.
Oh, dramatic.
Yeah.
Well,
our backs catch on fire.
Oh!
Alright. Welcome back, everybody who stayed for the ad. We do not have an ad for an hour now. So we are sadly going to get into, not sadly, but it's a lot, get into the case that we chose for today. And do you want to read the
I'll set the scene for some of y'all
Yeah.
here. I'll set the scene. It is London, 1888. The air is thick with smoke and the streets are slick with rain and gas lamps flicker weakly against the fog. In Whitechapel, London, a crowded slum of poverty, desperation, and crime, an unknown killer stalks the night. His crimes shocked the world. His name became legend, and more than a century later, we all know him as Jack the Ripper. So, to understand Jack... Oh, that's you. Never mind. You put it all in blue.
I'm sorry. To understand Jack the Ripper, you first have to understand Whitechapel. In the 18th century, it was one of London's poorest districts. Overcrowded log houses packed with families, narrow alleys lined with taverns and brothels. Violence was common, alcoholism was rampant, and women drove themselves to becoming prostitutes. They were most vulnerable. The police presence at the time was very thin, therefore shadows became thicker, which gave way to the killer stepping out.
So, there were going to be... Historians genuinely agree on 5 women, and they were known as the canonical 5 of victims of Jack the Ripper. So each one, as we talk about this, deserves to be remembered, not only for how they died, but who they were as people. So the first one we're going to be talking about, the first victim at least, is Mary Ann Nicholas, also known as Polly among friends and family. She was born in 1845. She was the daughter of a blacksmith. She married young, had 5 children. For years, she lived what might have seemed like a stable working-class life, but in her personal life, her marriage was breaking apart, and she started to drift into poverty. And then by 1888, she was staying in a lodging house around Whitechapel, and then on one summer night, on August 31st, she was turned away because she didn't have any money to pay for her bed. So she told a friend she'd earn it on the street, if you know what that means. Hours later, she was found on Bucks Row. Her throat was cut open and her body was mutilated. She was 43 years old. Her throat had been deeply severed in 2 locations, nearly decapitating her, and her lowing abdomen was partially ripped open by a deep jagged wound. The killer had made several other incisions in her abdomen with the same knife, but the doctor who had arrived at the scene to examine her body had deemed her time of death to be less than 30 minutes from the time she had been found, which basically means he just kept going even after she died. So yeah, she was discovered by PC John Neal, who was just on his nightly walk, and that's when he found Polly's body, lifeless, just up staring into the sky. So yeah, and then I guess you want to talk about the next person.
Can we just talk about how violent this is already?
Yeah, that was the first person.
So her body was found in front of the gated horse stable.
Mm-hmm.
At 3:40 a.m. That.
Yep.
So I can't even imagine what Charles and Robert saw that day.
She left her house, she left her little lodging house to get some money so she could pay for it. Probably around, I would say, maybe 10 o'clock.
Oh, definitely.
Was out and about, and then got killed. Killer kept going, and then she was just left there for hours.
That... I can't. Like, to imagine stumbling upon that and thinking at first that she was either passed out drunk or dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
seeing that, I can't imagine.
That poor man went on his nightly walk and saw that.
They were on their way to work.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
I passed out, and they dragged me out of your house.
I'm sorry, okay? Wait, why did he break into my house if I was passed out in my house?
I don't know.
Like, it's a lot. So, this next victim is Annie Chapman, also known as Eliza Ann Smith. So, Eliza's background. She was born in September 25th, 1840 in Paddington, London. London, England. I have to specify that. She was the first of 5 children born to her parents, George Smith and Ruth Captain. I'm gonna stutter over that last name so hard today. So, George was a soldier having enlisted in this... Did you just kidnap something out of my house?
No, I'm watching the nightly news, or I think it's the morning news.
So he was a soldier enlisted in the 2nd Regiment of the Lifeguards in December 1834. Reportedly, the location of Chapman's earliest years revolved around her father's military service in London. Chapman's parents were not married at the time of her birth, although they did marry in February 22nd of 1842. Congratulations. I am a long time late, but congrats.
And, they're dead.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
I just had to say congratulations. So Elijah's murder, I'm gonna say murder, even though I meant to say marriage. The word murder is right up under the word, so on May 1st, 1869, Annie married John James Chapman. Was related. Let's just talk about the fact that her husband was related to her mother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think this is common back then.
It was. It was to keep a pure bloodline.
No. I would be like, no thanks. I'm just gonna go off this way.
It was especially common back in London in the 1800s.
Oh, definitely. So, the ceremony was conducted at the All Saints Church of Knightsbridge District of London. It took me a while to find out where that was held, but I found it somehow. So, they later had 3 children. Congratulations again, even though, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm late.
Oh, they had 3 children and their mother's dead. No,
I'm sorry, okay? So, they later on had 3 children, Emily, Ruth, Annie, and John Alfred.
Yeah.
Sadly, once her kids got old enough, she was brutally murdered by Jack the Ripper, as she is one of his victims. Shortly before 5 a.m. on September 8th, the son of the resident of 29th and Hurrell Street, John Richardson, entered the backyard to check to see if the padlocked cellar in the yard was still locked, as there was multiple break-ins during the time. He then exited the property via the front door at approximately 3 minutes later. So that would be exactly at 5 a.m. is when he left.
Mm-hmm.
So at 5:15 a.m., attendant from the 27th Harborough Street named Albert entered the yard using the... So, Glitch, can you help me out with this word? I'll highlight it. I'm gonna stumble over it, and I don't really want to stumble.
Laboratory?
Yeah, thank you. So he later informed the police that he had heard a woman yell, "No, no." Okay, before hearing the sound of something falling against a fence. He did not investigate the sounds.
Brother heard, "No, no," and went, probably nothing.
Ignoring the fact that sound of something or someone falling against the fence, and did not investigate.
So this dude, let me put this in perspective for some of you. This dude heard, "No, thump, bunk." Probably nothing.
Well, it was...
Probably a raccoon.
So, let's think about the time that we went back into the background. It was around the time that prostitutes were common. So, maybe he just thought that...
Yeah, but at the same time, though, if you're hearing someone scream "no" twice, and then hearing a thumping on the fence, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna go, she's getting at it again. No. I would be like, huh, that sounds suspicious. You know what I probably should do? Call the police. Oh, wait, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Phones don't exist.
I can't. This investigation had gotten me and Glitch so annoyed, but also understanding that they didn't have the stuff that we had around this time. But
you know what's funny? Like, what's sad that is that stuff like this still does happen, and people still think it's still like people will still hear these type of things and go, must be nothing.
But
like, how white can you be?
He said, "I'm white, but I'm not that white."
He's like, man, I've seen all the horror novels. I don't need to go investigate that.
So sadly, Annie was shortly found discovered by an elderly resident of the 29th Herborough Street named John Davis. At first, so the first part that I researched this, they literally said discovered by an elderly woman, and then I read more into it, and then his photo popped up, and he was an elderly man. So
that's not a woman.
I had to rewrite this so many times because of the misleaded information.
Dude, you're like, man, trans rights really were fucking, wow, they went back all the way down there.
It annoyed me so bad. But Davis had noticed the front door was now open while the back door was shut. Annie was found laying on the ground near the doorway to the backyard. Several policemen arrived within minutes. They were instructed to clear away to the yard to make sure Dr. Phillips had access. He arrived around 6:30 a.m.
So a whole hour later.
Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that they had also left her body uncovered? Uncovered!
Yeah. Just out there.
For an hour before Dr. Phillips arrived.
No one got a blanket or nothing? Just poor woman.
Hello, Sons of Silence. Welcome into episode 1 of the Underworld Files. How are you doing?
Hello.
I about stumbled over that.
How's it hanging? Oh, it's hanging. It's hanging.
Don't even make that joke, Glitch. I will. I heard it at the tip of your tongue.
What? I'm not making any joke. It's going great. What do you mean?
You were about to. We both know it. Wonderful. I'm glad you're having a good day.
Alright, well apparently Sons of Silence is it's from Family Guy. Cause
So Dr. Phillips arrived at 6:30, an hour and a half later. Well, if we go back to the timeline, so at 5:15, did you just steal my, can I? Oh! Anyways.
Go to my house.
So at 5:15, Albert heard the screaming and then a thud. And then, no, that was around an hour.
Yeah. It was around an hour. A little bit more, actually.
Yeah. That, I can't even imagine that her body, I'm about to explain how she was, but her body was left uncovered for an hour and a half. Not, like, to point fingers, but I don't think I would have ever done that to a person who was offed in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
Glitch, what's your opinion on that?
Well, first of all, keep in mind that, yeah, it being the 1800s is no excuse.
No, we're not making excuses.
First of all, y'all had plenty of time. First of all, the first dude, by the way, who just said, probably nothing, you deserve to stub your toe. I'm just gonna be right there, honest with you.
Step on a Lego.
I hope both your pillows were warm that night.
No, not warm, on fire.
And two, y'all didn't have the decency to cover this poor woman. This woman has nothing at all on, and she's brutally mutilated, and you're going, man, kids could see this. Ah, what? And it took you guys an hour to go, oh wait, we should probably call the police.
Yeah. And took Dr. Phillips around an hour and 30 minutes to arrive and get access to the yard. It's just annoyed with how they handled everything.
Living the 1800s would have sucked.
I would have been the most angry person ever. But there is a content warning for what I'm about to talk about now. And it's a lot. Me and Glitch did see the photos, and it's a lot. So, Annie's throat was severely cut by 2 deep cuts. Her abdomen had been entirely ripped open, with a section of flesh from her stomach being placed upon her left shoulder. Another section of her skin, plus her small intestines, were removed and placed above her right shoulder. Kaplan's autopsy also revealed that her uterus and sections of her bladder and vagina had been removed as well.
So yeah, when we say content warning, we mean it.
We mean it in bold letters, underlined with italics, everything included in that content warning. Also, Glitch, can you post a content warning in the chat if you can?
Yeah, no, I'll pin it too, yeah.
Thank you. Please make sure to leave it for the rest of the stream if you can.
Mm-hmm.
But what's still annoying me is that she was left uncovered in that state. That and the fact that you know how much bugs probably contaminated everything?
Don't even, you.
Glitch, what you're thinking...
I didn't need that image in my head.
Glitch, what you're thinking, they wouldn't have got to her. What you're thinking.
I'm thinking...
But how much things would have contaminated that scene? Let's talk about the fact that the policemen arrived in minutes and probably contaminated more, not knowing what they were walking into.
There we go.
Thank you. I love how that just popped up in the right side of my screen. Glitch, are you taking Elizabeth's stride?
Yes, I will take Elizabeth's stride.
Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth was... Let me get to that. I had to put my tab over. So on September 30th, brought another tragedy. Elizabeth Stride, known as Long Liz, was born in Sweden in 1843. She had moved to London in early February of 1866. She got married, worked as a cleaner and seamstress. Her marriage ended by the end of 1881. She had to make ends meet however she could, which meant prostitution. Elizabeth was last seen outside of a club on Berners Street. Around 1 a.m., witnesses described her with a man, but accounts differ, so many people, said differently. Let's see, where am I at? Oh, yeah. Shortly after, her body was found in a dark yard. However, unlike the other victims, Elizabeth's body was not mutilated. So many believe that, Jack the Ripper just, was interrupted before he could go any further. She was 44 years old. So he claimed both Elizabeth and, poor Miss Anne Chaplin on this, 2 in the morning hours of September 30th. So the first was, Elizabeth, and then, the Berners Street. And then, the killer had cut her throat, severing her left artery, yet no other slashes or incisions had been made. Because of the absence of abdominal mutilations, there has been doubt on whether or not she was in fact killed by Jack the Ripper. However, most people agree that she definitely was, due to the fact that the way her throat was cut was very similar to all the other ones. It was also believed that Stride had not been mutilated like the other due to the interruption of sorts, so it's possible that he was either being caught or detected by some people, so he just fled the scene before he continued his little escapade.
Honestly, I think the fact that he was interrupted is amazing, and that Elizabeth didn't have to have what happened to everyone else happen to her.
Yeah.
Even though she was sadly passed away on the first strike, was...
I wouldn't say her death was quick, but probably quicker than most.
And not as painful, maybe. I hope not.
Oh no! It would have been very painful. She felt probably every single part of it.
I know, but I hope that it wasn't. That is what I'm saying. I hope that it wasn't.
I hope it wasn't too, but the way
we all know that it probably was.
The way it works with that, it was not.
Yeah.
You want to take this?
I will.
Take Catherine.
So, sadly, the same night, less than an hour after Elizabeth, the Ripper had struck again. Catherine Eddowes was 46. She had grown up in Wolverhampton and moved to London. Lived with a man named John Kelly. Catherine was known for her wits and sense of humor, even while living in deep poverty. So, on September 29th, she was arrested for drunkenness. Yeah, drunkenness. And after sobering up, she was released around 1 a.m. Then just 45 minutes later, she was found. Her body was found in Matiere Square. Is that how you pronounce that? Matiere Square. Scavenged, just mutilated, and parts of her face and organs were removed. Can we just talk about the fact that I just stuttered over that so bad?
Removed.
So, brutally was just a lot, and Catherine did sadly leave behind 3 children. So, around 44 minutes after Stride's body was found, Edwin's body was discovered in the Matiere Square. So, Catherine's throat had been severed and her abdomen has been torn open by a deep, jagged wound. Her left kidney had been removed, along with major portions of her uterus. Just before Edwin's mutilated body was discovered, an eyewitness saw her in the company of a man who he was described as approximately 5'7", 30 years of age, and a medium build to accompany a mustache. His attire had gave him the overall appearance of a sailor. The Stride Edwin's murders were referred to as the double event later on in the case. That's a lot. I mean, can we talk about the fact that it was not even an hour later? So, Jack the Ripper would have been exhausted with what he'd done with Elizabeth Stride.
Yep.
And the fact that not even an hour later he did the same to somebody else.
Yeah, he did it all in one foul swoop.
I believe the fact that he was younger than 30.
I mean, it's not entirely implausible.
I know, but that
30.
is a lot of, what's the word?
Work.
Yeah. And, like, his body would have physically been exhausted.
I mean, it would have been, like, he could have been more stout of a man.
That's just
he
a lot.
probably could have easily gotten through it. We don't know because he was never caught.
Which
Uh,
is just
yeah.
icky.
So the final victim was Mary Jane Kelly, and unlike the others, she was much, much younger. She was 25 years old. Mary Jane she's less documented, considering that there's not a lot we know about her, so a lot of it is just clouded in mystery. Some said she was from Ireland, while others said she was from Wales, so she may have worked as a maid and then a sex worker, but we don't really know. But I mean, we do know she was a sex worker. But we don't know what her occupation was beforehand. She was described as attractive, lively, and cheerful when sober. But like many others in Whitechapel, she battled poverty and alcoholism. So on the morning of November 9th, 1888, her landlord sent someone to collect overdue rent. Through the window of her small room at Miller's Court, they saw her body. Her murder was the most horrific out of all of them. The Ripper had time and privacy in her own home, and the scene was probably one of the most unimaginable pieces of violence that any detective has seen, and they were shaken to their core when they saw it. So yeah, she was the youngest out of the last of the canonical five. Her murder was the most gruesome. She was found horribly mutilated, lying on the bed in her single-room flat where she lived at 13 Miller's Court. And she was discovered at 10:45 a.m. on the morning of Friday, November 9th. The landlord's assistant, Thomas Bauer, had been sent over to collect the rent, which she had been weeks behind in paying. When she didn't answer his knock at the door, he reached his hand through the crack in the window, pushing aside a coat being used as a makeshift drapery when he saw the moment that was absolutely horrific. Her body was mutilated beyond recognition. Her entire abdominal cavity had been emptied out. Her breasts were cut off. Her viscera had been deliberately placed beneath her head and on the bedside table. His face had been hacked away, and her heart was removed, which was also absent from the crime scene. Her murder was just the most grisly and ritualistic of every other one beforehand.
So, following the death, it was a lot, especially with how brutal her murder was.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she was the youngest also hit a lot hard with how Jack the Ripper definitely had a type of
Victim.
Yeah, I would say older and not younger. So the fact that Mary was one of the victims completely messed up his profile of what he wanted.
Yeah, which made it harder for them to track.
He completely, I guess you can just say he completely broke his pattern.
MO.
Yeah, his MO. But following the death of Mary, people had believed that the Ripper killing had ceased. The murders that followed didn't bear any striking similarities to those who occurred between August 31st and November 9th of 1888.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the fact that multiple things had been placed outside of her?
Yeah.
What?
He had time.
It was a lot, because I believe that was one of the photos that we seen.
Yeah, that was one of those photo.
So it's a lot. Hey, can we pause for a second and can you look at the notifications going on in Discord right now?
Yeah, I didn't know there was notifications going on Discord.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. We got to pause. I'm gonna have a chat with glitch on voice chat real quick.
Oh,
I'm gonna run an ad for you guys.
I see what you're talking about. First of all, I'm gonna delete that little message you sent. Do you want me to ban him?
Can we get a Discord call going real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me mute myself on the actual PlayStation party. Alright, Sharkie's gonna handle certain something that happened on the Discord. In the meantime, I'll discuss the letters. Um, so there were letters that were sent to the police station, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of letters, and were sent to the police stations. Claiming to be from the killer. Most were hoaxes, but 3 stood out specifically. The first was called a Dear Boss letter. It was signed with a name that would, be very, very, very similar to everybody and known, Jack the Ripper. He then sent a second, which was a postcard called the Saucy Jackie postcard. This seemed to reference the details of the double murder on September 30th. And the last letter, which was the most chilling, which is called the From Hell letter. The letter was sent with half a human kidney. It read simply that the sender had fried and eaten the other half. But along with those, the Dear Boss and the Saucy Jackie postcard, they were posted by the Metropolitan Police. Yeah, like, it was handed out to citizens, hope someone would be able to identify the handwriting. Like, it was sent out to people to hopefully see who they could catch, yet nothing came of it. So the newspapers also reprinted the messages, creating a worldwide media frenzy and increasing the celebrity, the celebratory, you know, not the fact that he was famous, but that he became famous only for that. Now, were they genuine? We don't know. We can only take it at face value that they were. But one thing is for damn certain is that they basically transformed the entirety of Whitechapel into a global media sensation, whether they wanted it to or not.
So about the letters. So which one came first? The Dear Boss, correct?
Yeah, the Dear Boss letter.
So the Dear Boss letter read, I keep hearing the police had caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever, talking about being on the right track. That joke about the leather apron gave me real fits. I am down on whores who I shan't quit ripping them till I get buckled. Grand work the last job was. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and I want to start again. You'll soon hear from me with my funny little games. I've saved some proper red stuff in ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with it, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Red ink fits enough, and I hope, the next job I shall do shall clip the lady's ears off and send them to the police officers, just for a jolly. Keep this letter back till I bite more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so I sharp. I want to get to work right away if I have the chance. Good luck, yours truly, Jack the Ripper. P.S. Don't mind the trade name. Wasn't good enough to post this before I got red ink all over my hands. No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Ha ha. Can we talk about the fact that I almost had a stroke reading what he wrote?
1800s of writing was something else.
And then I shall give the option to let Glitch read the next letter. The Saucy Jack postcard.
Yeah, I can read that. So the Saucy Jackie postcard read simply, I was not coding dear old boss when I gave you the tip. You'll hear about Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow, double event this time. Number one, squealed a bit, couldn't finish straight off. Had not time to get the ears off. For please, thanks for keeping the last letter back until I got to work again. Jack the Ripper.
That one was a lot shorter, but it had also...
It was a postcard, so...
Yeah, it was a postcard. There is photos of the actual letters, but we couldn't really find, like, ones that weren't black and white and to the point that you couldn't read it.
Yeah.
So, this final one is From Hell letter. So, the title wrote, From Hell, Mr. Lusk. Sore, I send you half kidney I took from woman, preserved it for you. Took the other piece, I fried and ate it. It was very nicety. I may send you the bloody knife that took it out if you'll only wait a little longer. Signed, Catch Me When You Can, Mr. Lusk.
Yeah.
He fried and ate a kidney. Half of a kidney.
Yep, he straight up just said, you know what? I ate this. Here's the other half. Enjoy, guys. And just...
The fact that he took the time to preserve it...
is more disgusting? Yeah.
Yeah. But I do apologize for the interruption. It was something involving our Discord server.
Yeah. It is handled now.
It is handled, it is. So, there was 2 more possible victims. So, to the additional 11 Whitechapel murders, the press had linked the other attacks to the Ripper in case of the Fairy Fae. It is unclear if this attack was real or fabricated as a part of the Ripper lore. Fairy Faye was a nickname given to the unidentified woman whose body was allegedly found in the doorway close to Commercial Road on the 26th of December in 1887. So Emma Elizabeth Smith, she was robbed and sexually assaulted on Osborne Street, Whitechapel, around 1:30 a.m. on April 3rd, 1888. She was bludgeoned on the face, receiving a cut from her ear to her ear. So what me and Glitch had depicted from that is like, I don't know if you've seen like the Joker smile.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm imagining when bludgeoned on the face and received a cut to her ear.
Yeah, I'm imagining the same.
Okay. A blunt object was then inserted into her, rupturing her. Did we ever figure out how to pronounce that word?
Which one?
I'll highlight it for you.
Where are you at? Are you on the investigation or are you on the...
I am the two more possible victims.
Oh, yeah. Pertonium?
Pertonium. It is the lining of the abdominal cavity. She had developed... oh my god, there's another one. Why didn't we... Pertonius, yes. We are sadly trying to figure out what these words are, as in the 1880s, apparently they were fancy and decided to have multiple big words.
yes, big fancy words.
Sadly, she did pass away the following day at London Hospital. Emma had stated that she had been attacked to 2 or 3 men. She had described one as a teenager. Some linked this murder to the Ripper case, but others also linked this to the East End gang violence that happened around the same time of the Jack Ripper murders.
Yeah.
So, Martha Tabron. So, sadly, Martha was murdered on the staircase landing in the George Yard, Whitechapel, on August 7th, 1888. Martha had been stabbed 39 times in the throat, lungs, heart, liver, spine, stomach, and abdomen. And then with additional knife wounds were inflicted on her breast and vagina. All but one of Martha's wounds had been inflicted with a bladed instrument known as a penknife. So a penknife, let me pull up the photo that I had.
It's basically just a pocket knife. It's what we Americans call a pocket knife.
I have a photo and I'm gonna try and describe it for you. So it is also called the Lyson knife. So it was used in the 1880s for a type of amputation knife. So the knife had gained association with Jack the Ripper, as it was one of his weapons, but it was mostly used in the 1880s for amputations. So it was a bladed, sharp knife, but small enough to also be depicted as a pocket knife. So, studies did show that the wounds had been inflicted by a right-handed person. In this murder, it differs from the later conical murders, because although Tabron had been repeatedly stabbed, she had not suffered any slash wounds to her throat or abdomen. Many experts do not connect the Tabron's murder with the later murders because the difference of the wound patterns.
Yeah.
Not you coming in my house when I'm laying in my bed.
Sorry, just came here and sat down.
So, both of Elizabeth's and Martha's murderers were brutal, but not related to Jack the Ripper as we know of.
So, most people believe it isn't.
Emma did survive the first initial assault, but as we talked about, she did develop a infection that sadly made her pass the following day.
Yeah. It was one of those ones where, like, when you got, or whenever what happened got done happening, she succumbed to her injuries, and to then the infection that came along with it.
And I think about the fact that what is the word that I'm looking for? I think the one option is that I don't really think that Elizabeth was connected to the Ripper murders. I think that the people who had done that to her was trying to replicate it.
Yeah, they saw it as
An
like
opportunity to cover
inspiration.
up their gang.
Yeah, it was inspiration. They got inspired.
But I think also the other thing is the physical sexually assault part. Because the only other part that had the sexual assault to was with an object.
Yeah.
So I think that's also another thing that we don't connect her to the Jack the Ripper case, but also it does because of the copycat.
Yeah.
So do we want to leave the later murders that were inspired by Jack to the last part, or do we want to continue on with the investigation and the subject?
We'll continue on with the investigation.
Okay.
So keep in mind, guys, 1800s. We already know we've established that everybody who is in this place sucks. So the Metropolitan Police and the Scotland Yard threw everything they had at this case. They interviewed hundreds, and they increased patrols. They even went door to door. But this was 1888, so forensic science didn't exist as it does today. There were no fingerprints, no DNA, no surveillance cameras, just eyewitness accounts in a crowded, chaotic district. So impossible. That's why he slipped through. So the term serial killer back then was not coined yet. It didn't exist. It was not a term that was made yet. Crime was rampant in Whitechapel, so a bulk of the murders were carried out by the street, by gangs, or a form of domestic violence. And even then, however, crimes were referred to as ripping, and so it consisted of robbings, revenge killings, and yada yada yada. It was random violence to keep public fearing them. Forensic investigation was almost non-existent, so good luck finding anything at that point. Even results of autopsies were cause for disagreement. It was mainly just speculation. It wasn't one of those where we have today where they can just be like, oh yes, I could tell by this foaming here, it's poison. No. There was no CSI, so not even fingerprinting technology. So they couldn't tell if he had a weapon, if there was a murder weapon left there, they couldn't have told who it was. It didn't matter. So trying to catch him was,
nearly impossible. Yeah.
It was blatantly impossible when you live in a chaotic place where murder, domestic violence, and all that is rampant. So, trying to catch him was just hard. But the way he did it though is why it caught police eyes, because he did it in a performance type of stance. The letters, all that stuff. So, yeah.
What? So, the first documented serial killer was nearly in the 19th century.
Yeah.
So, that was not even close to the part where serial killer or any of the databases or anything came to life.
Yeah.
So, this was impossible to catch him. Yes, it was new ground. But the first documented, not the documented, but like the first documented serial killer considered as a serial killer was, I'm pretty sure, H.H. Holmes. Because that was around the... But that was so far in front of any of this. I can hear Glitch looking up the first documented serial killer.
Yeah. There were bloodhounds used.
Oh, they were, but they were...
But guess what? Dead end! Yeah, a lot of it was just... They waited they tried waiting 2 hours after Mary Jane's body was discovered. Nothing. They were hopefully, they were trying to hope to find something, someone, maybe. Nothing.
2
He was gone. He
hours
was long
after...
gone. He was long gone.
Yeah, he was long.
After these 5 murders, he stopped. In fact, Jack the Ripper he basically disappeared off the face of the earth at that point. He did what he did and then just straight up dipped.
Yeah.
That's literally exactly what happened.
He was like, "Oh, I did all of this. Now it's time to go."
Speculation implies that he probably left London and went to a different place. But that's up to speculation. I'm gonna use the restroom real fast.
Oh, take your time. I'm just gonna talk
I'm
about the bloodhounds.
You do that.
So the bloodhounds did have names. They were Barnaby and Burho. Very weird names, but very, very cute. They were touted as a new innovative way of tracking criminals through scent, but as we said, it was 2 hours after Jack the Ripper had disappeared, so his scent was probably already masked by any of the other people who were walking around and just completely gone. The dogs were trying to, though. In spite of this, however, they never saw any investigations be in action. So they were summoned by police on an unrelated case. So Burlow and Barnaby wasn't even called in on the Jack the Ripper case. It was a separate case that they had brought them in for. So the efforts were a dead end with the dogs, and when the dog's owner, Edwin, found out that the police had no budgets for their servers, they just left. I am pretty sure they just left. So on the morning that Mary Jane's body was discovered, officers waited 2 hours, as we went over this, on Miller's Court without entering the premises. I'm pretty sure they were waiting for the dogs to arrive. But it was no use. The scent was probably already dialing down. But as we talked about it, he had completely disappeared after he got the last victim, which I think was so sad that they never caught who murdered them. But Ratty, hello. It is completely okay. Traffic does suck. Honestly, we were supposed to be playing a game over this, but yeah. But how is everybody checking in? Do we need a break? It's a lot with this case.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're in a 9-hour... What?
95-hour+ winds. Dang.
Ratty, are you okay? I need confirmation that you're okay, Ratty.
Dude, I'm getting us money right now.
Okay. So, we are moving into the suspects. So, we don't really have much for the suspects as... What just happened to my laptop?
Yeah, because over the years, countless suspects were named. Some credible, others were straight out outlandish.
But...
yeah.
It was...
futile. It was all it was, futile.
So, there were... Yeah, my laptop's being weird. There was a lot of suspects. I think there were... How many did there originally was, and not the main ones, is what I'm asking.
Hundreds. Like, it got to a point where, so, there were a bunch of, there were doctors, artists, and even members of the royal family that were accused of it, but no, the thing is that, because it was the 1800s, proof and finding proof was, impossible. So, none of them held any, actual legitimate reasons or legitimate causes of them being a suspect.
So I think the main theory was that the killer was a doctor, but I don't think they really actually.
He was not a doctor.
No.
So that's why in a Dear Boss letter that he made fun of it. Like, people are suspecting him of a doctor.
But I don't really think that the letter was it released? Did we read about it not being released? I don't think it was released.
No, it was released.
So, I don't understand why the theories would still be going around that he was a doctor when he specifically said he wasn't. But that also could be him covering up the fact that he might have been a doctor. But we honestly will never know.
Because he was just long gone.
But as Glitch said, possibly even educated upper class individuals were a suspect as well. The royalty back then as well was suspected. Multiple people called in that they thought their family members were Jack the Ripper, or that the royal was Jack the Ripper. But there was a lot, especially with the distrust of modern science and the... Excuse you.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Many think Ripper was a common worker, possibly a butcher or a tradesman who lived locally and was employed during the week, explaining why the murders occurred on the near weekends. So a lot of experts also agreed that the Ripper was a local in Whitechapel. Many alleged suspects were proposed over the years of the investigation. Some accused suspects, including famous names. Honestly, who wasn't accused of being Jack the Ripper in the 1880s? Being that many was around the time of the Ripper murders, modern day authors are free to pose suspect without accountability. There was... Let's see. So the following suspects, who were favored by officers actively conducting the researches. So basically whoever any of the police officers liked more as a suspect, that's who they investigated. That is exactly what happened. So John Destruct. He was born in Minister Dusset Wimburn. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
He worked as an assistant schoolmaster in the Blackhead, London. To supplement his income, he was named as the Ripper suspect by an assistant chief constable, Sir Melville. When his decomposed body was found on December 31st, 1888, the cause of his death being a sewer slide drowning, because it took place weeks after the slaying of Mary Jane Kelly on November 1888. So that made him the prime suspect for the Ripper murders.
Yeah.
Because of the disappearance of Ripper and then his body being found, as he was already a suspect.
But nothing was proven or guaranteed.
Yeah, shortly after this sewer slide, he was found. Oh! Modern authors could have been the reason for his dismissal, and it drove him to sewer slide. Yeah. It was also known that his mother and grandmother. Grandmother. Can you say the word for me?
Yeah, let me go through the thing.
I got it. Both suffered from mental illnesses, and thus he may have been dismissed due to fear of mental health problems. So basically, they just dropped the case on him, as he was already found after he had committed. So the next person is... Oh, this is a long name.
You got it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say AKA George Catman. There we go. He had immigrated to the UK shortly before the start of the murders, sometime between 1887 and 1888. He took on the name Catman somewhere around 1893 or 1894. Catman was hanged in 1903. I had 1888 on my mind. For poisoning 3 of his wives, Catman used a compound known as tar excrementate, which he had purchased from a chemist in Hastings. So the poison resulted in a very painful death, similar to the arsenic poisoning. So he had worked as a barber at the time of the Ripper murders, according to H.L. Adam, who wrote the book in 1930 about the Chapman murders. It was also noted that Paul Mall was reported that Alberlin continued to suspect Chapman after his convicted hanging.
Yeah.
So many experts did dismiss him as a suspect due to the difference of the murders, which was poisoning rather than butchering. Yet he was considered to be Chief Inspector Frederick Alberlin primary suspect. So he was still held as a suspect after his hanging, and
yeah, he was.
He was, I think, after John, it was George that took on the primary suspect until his hanging on 1903. So, the next one is Aaron, if you want to go over him.
Yeah, let me get to where you... What did I do to my screen? There we go.
Did you see what Reddy said?
What?
My Twitch crashed, so I am relying on the one on my screen.
Don't get... Poor guy. Are you in that link?
I am. Do you want me to post it?
Yeah, did you post it?
I can.
It's the more about the investigation below one?
Yes, I will post. I can post it in the suspects for you if you want me to.
Yeah, I'm on it now. We're good.
I figured it was more because we didn't really have much on it because of the short time period we gave ourselves.
Who's the third person?
Aaron Cosmicae?
No. Sir Charles Warren. No, we talked about him. Frederick Eberlein. We talked about him. Donald Sutherland Swanson.
No, we already did George
Edmund
Catman.
Reed.
We are on Aaron Kosmicai. Or
Seeing. Where are you seeing him at? I'm scrolling through.
So, I'm in the Ripper
here we
suspects.
go.
There we go. You found him.
Swanson. Okay, yeah. Aaron Combs was as the primary Jack Ripper. Swanson. The primary suspect. 3 notes were distributed by one of Swanson's descendants. The suspect was sent to Stephanie workhouse, and then to Colin A. Hatch, and died shortly afterwards. Yeah, he didn't last. And yeah, that's pretty much it for him. Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's why I mostly just use what we found later on as we were just starting stream.
Yeah. Inspector, and then there's Edmund Reed. He was in charge of the criminal investigation department of the H Division, which was beloved by the local press. In a letter he wrote in the Morning Advertiser in 1903, Reed stated that he believed that Jack the Ripper to be responsible for 9 of the Whitechapel murders, which ended with Francis Cole's. Reed was also skeptical of any theories involving the Ripper having any sort of surgical skills or knowledge of human anatomy. Reed believed the victim's wounds were merely wild slashes made by the killer after the victims were dead, and so he doubted that the killer had any time to remove a victim's body parts from the scene. But he did. So, Reed did not name any particular individual as Jack the Ripper, but did tell Lloyd's Weekly News in 1912 that the murderer was probably a drunk local who killed while blacked out and does not remember his crimes. What kind of theory was that?
Honestly, this whole thing about the suspects were all over the place. Like,
What kind of
nothing
theory? He was just
stuck, and it was...
Brother sat there and went, he's probably some drunk guy who just
Yeah.
can't remember Jack. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It was a lot, honestly. I mean, the fact that there was hundreds of suspects and not one theory that the police threw out even stuck.
Yeah. There's 2 more, but y'all, I'm pretty sure some of y'all get the point here.
Oh, nothing happened. Absolutely
Yeah,
nothing.
happened. They basically kept trying naming victims, naming theories. Nothing stuck because everyone was saying different stuff, and no one in their right mind could come up with a, tried and true cause.
It was a lot, honestly. So, after the investigation had ended, there was honestly nothing else that anyone had done. No secondary investigation. The case went cold. Like, it's freezing temperatures cold. It's Antarctic cold. It's just gone, honestly. There's not much you can find about anything other than the fact that they just gave up.
They basically just said, oh, well, he's gone now. He hasn't done anything anymore. Well, time to move on. Yeah.
After Jack completely disappeared, the case plummeted and nobody cared anymore.
Yeah. It didn't even get revived years later.
No, it is still not. So, multiple cases have been re-picked up, and they're working on it now, as many of you know, that they're opening... I think they're reopening recently the Zodiac case.
Yeah.
And then multiple other ones that were never uncovered to know who the killer was. But the Jack Ripper case is left unattended and cold, still deep into the papers, and nobody's gonna ever pick that case back up.
And probably, it'd probably be hard if they even did, because
it's just how
it was all the way back in the 1800s, and trying to do it now would be probably blatantly impossible.
And the fact that the investigation was so far behind time to the point where if it was around this time that Jack the Ripper was alive and working, then they could probably catch him. But due to the point that it was the 1880s, there is no way you can pick up that case without the victims being, I want to say the word, but it's so not right to say. So, without the victims being present and gone over again,
Yeah.
there is no way you can pick up that case and solve it with how the investigation was held.
No.
So, let's go back to some of the victims. So, we're giving all of these victims their name. We're giving their name back. We're going to talk about them for as long as we can.
No.
So,
5 women. 5 women all got murdered. Suspectedly, probably more, but there's 5 canonical confirmed women killed by Jack the Ripper. Polly, Annie, Liz, Catherine, and Mary Jane. They each, back in the 1800s, struggled to make ends meet. They suffered from alcoholism. They suffered from, just poverty. It was a rough time back then. And they drove themselves to selling themselves. And, it was also in a city that was chaotic. So, protection, not even there. The police sucked. So they were only defined of the brutality by their deaths, but some of them were mothers, daughters, and and friends to some.
they laughed, they worked, and they survived until one man took their lives in autumn of 1888. Remembering them is the only way to take back the story from Jack the Ripper himself and give it back. Give them back their name, their relationships, everything that happened to them is only depicted by the brutal of their deaths. Saying their names, Marianne Nicholas, Anne Chapman, Elizabeth Strad, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Jane Kelly, and any of the other possible victims of Jack the Ripper, giving them back their names, talking about them today, has not depicted them by the brutality of their murders, but they were given back their names today, and we will continue remembering them on past their saddened deaths. So, let's talk more about Jack the Ripper. I mean, what do you think of him?
Well, obviously a psychopath, but that's
obvious. So, I'm sorry, Glitch, but we will continue this conversation after an ad, so we're not bothered for an hour and a half.
Yay.
So, we're going to take this as a break, and we're going to play the game while you guys are in the ad so we can talk about Jack the Ripper after. I'm also going to mute so we can deal with more Discord things if you want to as well. Glitch, you trapped me in my house.
I did.
You did. Can you come help me out?
What do you mean I trapped you inside your house?
You trapped me. Did you move the lamp?
Oh. Yeah.
Ratty, you did not just have to do that. Okay. I'm gonna...
There we go. Oh. There we go.
Ratty...
I'm making money.
Reddy is lying.
What's he lying about?
He cheered like 100 bits.
Dang.
Yeah.
I've been making that moolah. I have 1,698 G.
How do I play something?
You press X, or I think X or square on it. You have to have room for it, though.
Okay, I'll put it back. So, once everybody comes back, we're gonna talk more about Jack, and then, of course, we're gonna talk more about the victims as well.
Oh, also, I would advise that whenever we can, or whenever you can, to find the guy who is in the Twitch, because he obviously had to join the Discord through your channel. So if he's following you, I would make it to where he can't have access.
Welcome back, everybody. Here in just a second, we're gonna get back to the Jack the Ripper, and we're gonna talk more about the victims of the Saturn murders. But later, here in just a minute, Glitch is gonna tell him the rest of his opinion on Jack.
Yeah. I'm moving so slow. I'm so tired.
You're exhausted, that's why.
Let me drag myself over here.
You can just go sleep in my bed, it's okay. Or you can just stand right there.
I'm gonna go take a nappy.
I'm gonna go take a nap in another house.
So, yeah, no, he was a psychopath. That's obvious. He got away with it, like, way too quick. And again, keep in mind that this was the 1800s. This, like, forensics, all that stuff was, non-existent yet, so even if they could, even if they, tried, it wouldn't have been able to work anyway.
I have been given a dog.
I'm reading Rado's message in the group chat.
I have been given a dog.
Here.
Hold on, I'm talking to her right now.
What do you mean you were given a dog? I want a dog.
I'm naming it Athena.
Where are you right now?
Outside of my door.
I want a dog. Oh my god, she's so cute. Oh my god, I love her.
Where's my baby?
She's inside your house. I want a dog. I'm gonna go berate for a dog now.
Alright, so the fact. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to start about talking about Jack again?
I guess, again, we don't know what he was like, so we have no. We can possibly get an idea that he was a very stout, strong man to be able to do what he was able to do. So, I mean, that's the only way I could see him doing all of what he did, sometimes in one night, and not be exhausted.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see that. Where do I go get a dog at? I'm gonna get a dog.
I think you get one later on.
Yeah, I'm level 2. What do you mean?
Okay, so there were later murders that were basically just replicated into the Jack the Ripper case. So we're going to talk about that and then get back to the main victims to talk about them more, to give them back their names. So, Glitch, if you want to go to the later murders.
Yeah, I can go to the later murders. Where's that at?
So, following Kelly's murder, there were 4 other women who were killed in the Whitechapel district during the same period of which Rose Mallette was found strangled in Clock's Yard on High Street on December 20th, 1888. Investigators assessed that her death may have been the result of a drunken supper. There were no visible signs of struggle apparent anywhere on her body or clothing. Even they even deemed that it would be a murder, but her death was no way resembled to the Ripper killings. So her murder wasn't incorporated into the case, but her murder was around the time of Jack the Ripper cases.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the body. The body of Alice Mackenzie was found on July 17th, 1889, in Castle Alley, Whitechapel. She had suffered several carotid artery. She had a suffered. Yep. English, guys. She had a severed carotid artery, along with multiple small cuts and bruises along her body, evident of a struggle. One of the pathologists involved in her investigation dismissed this as a possible Ripper murder, as it did not match with his MO. And so they just disputed it as just being a, like, her just being a, a victim of a killer trying to copy Jack's MO, but wasn't even close.
So the 10th Whitechapel murder victim was, do you want to say the words?
Was the Pinchin Street torso.
So the reason that it was named such as the Pinchin Street torso is because she was found headless, legless, and under a railway arch on Pinchin Street, Whitechapel on September 10th, 1998. Investigators believed that the victim was also murdered in a different location and the body was dismembered for disposal.
Yeah, it was brutal.
That's brutal. I mean, there wasn't anything we could really find on the victim as it was a Jane Doe.
Yeah, well,
but
Jane Doe's one way to say it, but yeah.
It wasn't much on it, as the case wasn't really investigated that much.
Yeah.
As they were more focused on the Ripper case. So the next person is Frances. Glitch, if you want to read that one.
Frances Coles was murdered on February 13th, 1891. She was found on Swallow Garden, a passageway beneath the railway arch between Chambers Street and Royal Mint Street, Whitechapel, with her throat slit. Visible wounds on the back of her head suggested that Cole was likely thrown to the ground after suffering the knife wounds across her throat. Apart from the cuts to her throat, there were no mutilations to her body. So a man named James Thomas Sadler, authorities believed to be Jack the Ripper, was arrested and charged with her murder, but was later discharged on March 3rd, 1891, due to the lack of evidence of him being the actual suspect for her murder.
So, the thing is, if they believed that he was Jack the Ripper, why wasn't Thomas in the suspect list?
This was way later on.
I know, but if they believed, they still should have edited the...
You gotta rely, like...
Yeah, it is 19.
Is because
it is 18.
The reason why he probably was is probably because at the time, it was like, well, it's just another one of those.
Yeah. But... the due to lack of evidence is because it was 1880, but it's still sad that he wasn't held accountable for her murder if he did murder her.
Yeah.
But these are all the victims: Rosaline, Alice, Frances, and the Jane Doe, who is sadly still not known as her name, were later murders around the time of the Jack the Ripper case. And they weren't connected, but they were similar as they are in the case file. So, Mary Ann Nicholas, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eloise, Maine Jane Kelly. The two possible victims, the Elizabeth Emma Elizabeth Smith, Martha Taborn, and, of course, the ones who were also murdered around the time. Those are the names that need to be remembered in the Jack the Ripper case, and not Jack the Ripper.
Yes.
But, as we said before, they were women, they were mothers, they were daughters, and they also had friends. They laughed, they worked, they survived until Jack the Ripper, a man in autumn of 1888, took their lives. So remembering them is the only way to take back the story from him. And we will. That's what we did today.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Holy eggs.
Holy eggs. Oh my god, we forgot to feed the chickens.
Oh, no, they're alive. They're fine, but... there's so many eggs in here.
So, the Dear Boss letter. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. He basically just made fun of them, going,
Yeah.
They thought I was a doctor, you fools.
I am still having a stroke reading this right now in my head, trying to decipher what he wrote. So, let's talk about the grossness of this letter. So, I am down on whores, and I shan't quit ripping them till I get buckled.
I shan't.
It
sounds like...
Yeah, we both know what it sounds like.
He sounds like he just needs to go to the bathroom and didn't get to go in time. That's what that sounds like.
And then this next line, grand work, the last job was, I gave the lady no time to squeal. This letter, like, depicts on who he is. Like, he is a psychopath.
Brother was a straight up weirdo.
Yeah. Are you eating chips?
No, I was trying to get I thought I had more M&Ms. I ran.
You sound so sad.
Sad. I am. They were like honey peanut M&Ms. So good. Don't worry, I do have chips though. I have chips and dip.
So, the Dear Boss letter was written and... When did it say that the Dear Boss letter was given to? It was around the time of Elizabeth?
It was, yeah. That letter was given right after the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Elizabeth, the
postcard was Elizabeth.
The postcard was Elizabeth and
Catherine.
That double murder of Catherine. It's that double murder he was referencing.
So this was around, as we said, it was Marianne Nicholas after Marianne is when the Dear Boss letter came out. So in this one it says, how can they catch me now? I love my work and I want to start again. So after that it was Mary Chapman. So he had saved some of her blood in a ginger beer bottle over the last job. He went to write with it, but it was thick like glue and he couldn't use it. The fact that he saved it is honestly disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. But he used red ink to fit basically the topic of what he did. Can we talk about the fact that he literally wrote ha ha?
Yeah.
It's like someone reading a word and they say dot dot dot. It's...
Yeah, straight up psycho.
Yeah. And he said in the Dear Boss letter, the next job I shall clip the lady's ears off and send it to the police officers just for a jolly. And then I think in the Saucy Jack postcard that he said he didn't have time. So was that one of the ones he was... Was that the murder he was interrupted with?
I believe so. Oh, hi, Athena. Oh, Athena, you don't have any water in your bowl. But yeah, I believe so. Here, I just watered Athena. You're welcome.
Nope, thank you.
I watered her like a flower. There you go.
And then his very last words, he still has the bottom where he wrote his trade name, but he wrote, "My knife's so nice and sharp, I want to get to work right away if I get the chance."
Freaking weirdo.
So the fact that he literally says he wasn't hunting them, but he was paying them for prostitution. So whoever came up to him first was the next victim.
Yeah.
And that is, at least they
Disturbing?
were. The only thing that I can say that I'm glad is they weren't hunted.
No. It was all random.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I can say about this that I'm glad about, is they weren't hunted and they weren't stalked and they weren't, I guess I could say, no, I can't say that word because they were definitely scared when it happened.
Well, yeah.
But the only thing I can say is I'm glad they weren't hunted and they weren't targeted.
No, that's true. That is true.
And then the fact that he gave himself the name Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, he was a bit of a weirdo.
Don't mind me giving the trade name. Wasn't good enough to post this before. I got red ink all over my hands. Curse it, no luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Ha ha. It's a lot. He's a psychopath, he's creepy, and I'm upset the fact that he didn't get caught. But I'm glad the fact that he's probably dead now.
Oh,
Is dead. Is dead. He's a mummy.
Homie has been deceased.
The way you came through my headset, it sounds like you said he's been diseased.
Yeah, well, he is that too.
Yeah. Now, the Saucy Jack postcard. There wasn't most about that. It was a postcard, so there wasn't right. But the text of the postcard was, "I was not coddling dear old boss when I gave you the tip." So he called in his own tip about the murder.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? That wasn't even. It wasn't in eating. It wasn't even mentioned in the investigation that we found. He literally gave himself. "I was not coddling dear old boss when I gave you the tip." That means he called in a tip. But it wasn't mentioned in the investigation, so they completely went over that part.
Yeah?
They just went phew, right over the head.
There we go, my house looks so much better now.
You'll hear about Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow, double event. That is, sadly, I'm trying to find exactly so I don't mess it up. But the double event was Catherine Edwins and Mary Jane Kelly.
Yeah.
Or was it Elizabeth and...
I think it was...
Yeah, I read it backwards. I apologize. Elizabeth Stride and... Yeah, Elizabeth Stride and Catherine was the double event.
Yeah.
So they were talking...
He
had planned the double event. He was like,
Well, he didn't plan it. He referenced it as a, like, "Oh, look what I did. I'm so clever."
No. He said this. "You'll hear about it in the Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow, double event." So he planned it before. He
planned to kill 2 women.
Yeah.
He just didn't specify who.
No. He planned it, so I'm hoping they weren't targeted. But with how he described
I don't think they specifically were targeted. I think he just, planned to kill 2 women. And they were just the 2 unlucky few.
But how he said it, Saucy Jackie's work tomorrow, double event.
Yeah.
Um,
Gloating.
one squealed but couldn't finish straight off, so he was referencing Annie.
Yeah.
Had not time to rip ears for police.
Ugh.
That's
Where do I
honestly
find Robin?
disgusting.
Where is she at?
If you'll go to where my house is and then go up the path beside the chicken coop, that's an easy way to get there. But if you go through town to the right side, you can get up to Robin's.
Holy crap! Yeah, because I've been trying to find Robin's freaking place.
It's literally right behind our house. Like
your house.
Our land.
Yeah, I was gonna say your house, not mine. Mine's all the way down in Timbuktu.
Constipated speech. Man was probably gritting his teeth against a turtle.
Facts.
So, the letter from hell, or from hell letter, is how others read it. So, it read, Mr. Lusk, Sore, I send you half kidney from one woman, preserved it for you. Two other piece, I fried, ate, and very... Okay, so I'm gonna read this exactly how it was written. So this is gonna be hard. But it read, I send you half kidney I took from one woman, preserved it for you, two their piece I fried and ate. 'Tis was very nice. I may send you the bloody knife that took it out only if you wait a while longer. Signed, Catch Me When You Can.
Straight up psycho.
I'm reading this word for word on how it was written on the postcard, and I just about had a stroke. So, let's talk about the fact that he took a kidney, fried it.
Cut it in half.
Yeah, cut it in half, fried it, and ate it.
Yeah.
So let's add cannibal on the list as well.
Yeah.
I do not have appetite.
I hope no one's eating while we're listening to this.
I am so sorry if you are. We probably need to put a disclaimer. Do not eat while listening.
Don't. You lose your appetite.
You will regret it.
Man, to upgrade my house is 10,000 G? Dang!
Yeah.
Robin, you are a freaking scammer. Scam artist out here.
I think that's everything we needed to go on back over on the case.
Yeah.
So, as we said in the beginning, London 1888 was very... What's the word I'm looking for? It was a lot between the poverty, the alcoholism, everything. It's just everything.
Yeah, it was...
The fact that women had to drive themselves to prostitution just to live and just to survive, and then half of them getting brutally murdered is wrong, to the point where I am sad that they had to drive themselves to
that point?
Yeah.
Rough times to be living in. Especially in London, specifically London. Because I don't know how the US was faring at this time.
So, before we close episode 1 of the Underworld Files, Glitch, do you have anything that you want to add to this case?
No, not really. I mean, we pretty much went over everything that we needed to, I guess.
You don't want to be annoyed at how bad the investigation was.
Oh, I think I've made it clear how annoyed I have been.
It's so
when it came down
bad.
to it. I'm pretty sure I made my case certain that I was annoyed by it. Because, holy.
It's to the point where it's so bad that it literally looks like they did absolutely nothing, is how horrible the investigation was depicted.
That's how it was perceived.
Yeah.
Oh, the booksellers in town today.
We don't have enough money for that.
Dang. Never mind.
If you want to do it, I think it's on the far right side behind the blacksmith.
How much is it?
I think they all are different.
I have like 2,800.
Oh, you might have enough.
I'm saving up to upgrade my house.
So, as we said before, the 5 women. Glitch, if you want to do your thing again.
Do my reflection again?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that again for you. Yeah, so 5 women. Polly, Annie, Liz, Catherine, and Mary Jane. Each of them were struggling. They were poor and vulnerable in a city that basically sucked absolute donkey. And for decades they were only defined as of the brutality of their deaths, but they were more than that. They were people that existed at one point in time, and they were taken from this world by a man who just simply wanted to watch the world burn. You know?
But they, as Glitch said, they were human. They were mothers, they were daughters, and they were friends. They had laughed, they had worked, they had survived until one man took their lives on autumn of 1888. Remembering them is the only way we can take back the story from Jack the Ripper and give them their names back and give them their stories back before they were brutally murdered. So, after all of it was over and Jack the Ripper had disappeared, it completely ended.
Yeah. He was never caught. He actually is still talked about today in London. He was made a ghost story. And we don't know if he was a doctor, a madman, or simply kind of the man that just thrives when society looks the other way. But one thing is definitely for certain though, that Jack the Ripper's legacy is not about terror. It's about the lives that the terror consumed. Whether or not he inflicted it himself or not, because there were so many people that were influenced by his popularity that they did their own brutality. Yeah. How much grass is here?
It was a lot. So you can go with the guide and have a tour of the entire areas that may have been connected to the case. There is a website that you can find that. I think it's called Jack the Ripper Tour Case. I'm pretty sure.
Can you imagine going to London? Mommy, you know what I want to go? What's that, honey? I want to go on the Jack the Ripper, little investigation thing. Oh, okay. Why? Because why not?
So I will give you guys some time to explain your point of view on Jack the Ripper, and we will read it out if you want to do that to anybody who is in chat and want to do that. After this ad, we can read out your opinions on here.
I got mail. Egg Festival.
If you guys want to do that.
Annual egg hunt. Oh, yeah. That's riveting. Man, I'm clearing out my little yard here. I'm getting close. How you doing, Sharkie?
I am doing good.
You enjoying it?
I'm not enjoying the brutality of the murder, but I'm enjoying doing the podcast.
No, I mean, I'm interested.
How are
you enjoying hearing
you?
about this gruesome stuff? Oh, I'm doing great. I'm playing, getting money, talking about some gruesome shit. It's great. You know, this is the highlight of everybody's day right here. I really hope we can figure. I'm glad that we got to figure out that Discord stuff. I did not even get that notification.
I got them all. It was vibrating my table.
Love how Sharkie is chilling in bed and glitches off doing side quests across the globe. You're right, I am. You're right, I am.
Okay, so how my brain works is I physically cannot do like 2 different things at once. So we wrote an entire script, and if you guys want to, I can post what we had gotten into the Discord. It is not much. We gave ourselves very little time to get any information on this, and it's going to be more organized next case that we discuss. But how we did it was... I think we need to be more organized next time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for the next time, we're going to have a game that we don't have to pay attention to, or I might just get one of the games that has those really long, detailed things of how the game was made, and just have that going in the background instead of me actually having to play a game. But how it is, I cannot focus on 2 things, like reading something and doing like a game or something is so hard for me.
See, I don't have that struggle mainly because I'm over here, you know, weeding I'm over here doing my yard and getting rid of all these stumps and wood and grass. Cause then I'm getting love, getting that cash money.
But
and I'm just talking about the murder.
To anyone who wants to put their opinion up there, I will read it. If you guys want to type out your guys' opinion in the chat, me or Glitch will read out your opinions and we will discuss this as well.
Not gonna lie, the information was spot on for how else happy. Yeah?
Oh, definitely. It was amazing, but I definitely want to get it more detailed.
Hi, Athena. Hello, Athena. Hello, Athena. Oh, you need to be watered. I got you.
Ratty, do you want to say anything about the case?
There you go, babies.
As you said, that was me as a kid. I'd swear I would be so down to do that. Would you like to say something about the case?
Would you? I'm so exhausted. I'm moving at the speed of a snail.
So, Glitch.
Yeah.
How was episode 1?
It was good.
Do you think?
I enjoyed it.
I definitely did too, but...
This was a lot better than doing Minecraft, I can tell you that.
Oh my god.
Minecraft would have been chaotic. Thank God I found out this was free for PlayStation Plus, man. Let's go.
Gotcha. That is completely okay. But we did read up on the things. As long as we did content warnings, we are completely fine.
Yeah. Dang, Athena, you go through your water like crazy.
I think it empties every day. It changes.
That's fair, Rano. That's fair. Twitch is a cruel mistress, and yet a very much giving mistress at the same time.
But this is the end of episode 1 of the Underworld Files. As always, you can join us to vote on the next case that we are going to do in the Discord, and I will definitely link that. But you can also find it on my channel as well. And we will get into the outro, and we will say our introductions one more time, just so you know who we are. And
do you want to go first? Yours?
I definitely will. So, I am your host. I am Sharkie. Here in the depths of the Underworld Files, I circle the shallows, searching for the truth hidden beneath the surface. On the Underworld Files, I will guide you along with Glitch. We will guide you through chilling crimes, unsolved mysteries, and stories that lurk just out of sight. Together, we will dive deep to where very few dare to swim, into the dark currents of the humanity's underworld.
And then, as she said, from the dark corners of the internet and even darker corners of your nightmares, I am Glitch, your resident demon with a taste for the twisted and true. I'm one of your hosts through today, through today's case that was interesting. Um, and where fact is always stranger than fiction, and sometimes even scarier. This was the Underworld Files, a place where the shallows keep their secrets, but we bring them to light each week. We will dive deep into the darkest corners of crime, unsolved mysteries, and notorious cases, and chilling stories that haunt history. These are the files that society tried to bury, but the voices demand to be heard, and truths refuse to stay hidden. And as always, enter if you dare. And each and every time there will be a content warning, so viewer discretion is always advised.
And as always, enjoy everyone's days and or night. Ratty, thank you for the 50 bits. You definitely did not have to do that.
Thank you so much, Ratty. You're so nice.
But welcome
I wish I had money.
to the Underworld Files and the ending of episode 1. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. This will be also found on YouTube as well if you want to go listen from the beginning. But this is Glitch and Sharkie signing off for the Underworld Files.
Bye. My fingers.